Toriko chapter 369. God has finally arrived. And I was right about it being a frog. So, when the gourmet eclipse takes place, what happens is that the earth's surface freezes, but inside, the flavors they go under the process of maturity. They starts maturing. The nutrients and the flavors they start they start developing and they start maturing, and when that happens, an enormous amount of energy and heat is produced. The flavor matures so much and it develops so much that it erupts, and through that eruption God emerges, and it basically looks like a tadpole, but it also kind of looks like a frog, kind of looks like a planet. And the first god that emerges, that one looks like Saturn, and it's huge in size, and it goes up to space. Following that, thousands of other gods follow him, and then they fall on the ground. The planet like god, he develops arms and legs, and the others which followed him, they fall on him and starts fusing, and it turns into a giant frog. Now, what Gigi says is quite interesting. He says that he has never seen a god this big, and he says that when God is still in his tadpole form, so it kind of gives you an idea that how much nutrients that and flavor this creature has absorbed in him, that it has turned so big. Also, he also makes a comment that he has never seen a god maturing this fast and turning him into a frog. That only means that it has absorbed a lot of flavor, and since it is its final arrival, it has matured very quickly, which it's quite it's quite intriguing when he says that, because he says that it is his final arrival, which confuses me. Is it his final arrival, like it God is never going to arrive again, or it's his final arrival for now, and after like 1,000 years it's going to arrive again? What's it going to be, right? When God forms in his frog mode or in his full maturity, its appetite is amazing. The first thing he does is he attacks the four heavenly kings, and Starjun and everyone who was over there, and thankfully Sunny deflects that attack, and he eats. He basically the attack is through his tongue, and the deflected tongue reaches up to the moon, and he basically drags the moon down and eats it. First of all, I thought that the moon was destroyed by Dawn's line. I was pretty sure about that, it was the moon. But I guess this planet has multiple moons. I don't know, because that would be a very very bad way of showing your continuity, unless Dawn Slime destroyed an asteroid or another planet itself by jumping around. That's fine, but I am pretty sure that the landmass that he landed was the moon. Anyway, so Gigi makes another comment which kind of made me think about this theory. He says that everything emerges from center, and it ends with God. This this comment kind of shows. I mean, he also uh, explains more about what he said. He also says that whenever the solar eclipse the gourmet eclipse happen, which happens in every hundreds of years, a good majority of species go extinct, and that a monster emerges who causes this extinction. Yeah. So basically, it he's talking about the purpose of God, and he kind of does indicates where and what where center came from and what might be center. Now, this is my theory. Okay, I think that center is a creature that emerged at the moment when the gourmet meteorite struck the earth, and it traveled down to the middle of it and started expanding it. When it fully expanded large enough that the gourmet world and the human world were distinct places, and when that happened, the very first creature that came out of the center, the very first creature coming out of the center of the earth, and was probably the purest form of gourmet cells, which developed from the core of the meteorite, which uh, basically took the replaced the core. That creature is center, and through that creature, other gourmet uh, other creatures in the gourmet world developed. The other creatures evolved from that one single creature. Other creatures evolved. That creature is center, and I guess the name center could be because of the fact that it emerged from the center of the planet, and it is the purest form of the apatite, which was the meteorite, which had which was in the meteorite, which basically, if you guys remember, a part of it was brought by Coco and he showed Sunny and Zebra about this, you know. And I guess the reason why Gigi said that everything comes from center is because center was that very first creature which developed from the center of our planet, absorbing all the nutrients that the planet had, and it evolved from it. It came on the surface, and from that creature, other creatures from the gourmet world evolved. And that's the reason why maybe center has the ability to bring back the dead. And I guess that's also the reason why that it is sealed in that golden can, because as far as we know, the last time we saw a creature sealed in the golden can was the fish the fish dish of Toriko. It was this shellfish that was huge. It was so huge that Gigi said that it has an infinity of meat inside of it. So you can assume that the prehistoric creatures would be extremely strong and extremely huge when it comes to its flavor. Yeah? And I guess that is what Center is, and that is the reason why Center was preserved in that can. Now, what is the purpose of God? I think the purpose of God is to eliminate the weak and those creatures who are unnecessary for survival, which pretty much are going to be a burden for the nature itself. It's like an exterminator, a nature's exterminator. It comes out uh, within the span of like like 100 or 1,000 years, uh, eats away the unnecessary creatures, expendable creatures, so that it could clean up and make space for more evolved and more stronger creatures, so that they could take the space of them. And then again, after 1,000 years or so, God emerges again, and then the weaker ones are devoured by him. So I guess that is the purpose of God. Anyways, we get to see that God could literally suck out your life. So I assume that is the reason why his capture level is over 10,000, and not even the 8 kings had this level of capture, this level of capture level with them, on them. It's quite surprising for me. It is quite interesting to see that God would be a creature that these guys have to fight, because as we know that it is a special preparation ingredient, and um, Froze almost lost her life when she was trying to prepare this ingredient, you know and that actually just makes me think what exactly and how exactly are they going to prepare God. I kind of thought that maybe when God eats a lot of other creatures, it's not that the whole thing is to be prepared. The whole frog is not to be eaten. I think what happens is that when he eats a lot, its mustaches, those giant balls near his mustaches, they start expanding, they start getting bigger and bigger, and those are the ones that are supposed to be eaten. Now, that is my assumption. They might as well eat the whole thing. I don't know, but that is what I'm assuming. Anyways, we have to capture God, and I am very curious of how exactly are they going to capture God, because it took away Komatsu, and Toriko just loses his shit and he goes after him. Gigi tries to stop him. He's like, no, don't be stupid. You'll die. And he's like, no, I'm not being stupid. I'm just trying to get this creature in my belly right now, because I have been waiting for a very long time to eat this thing, and it's right in front of me, and I'm not going to stop. So I am expecting a good fight in the next chapter. I'm expecting a very, very awesome battle. So what do you guys think about this chapter? What do you guys think about my theory? Do you think that it has any validity, or it has any chance that it might be true? Leave your thoughts in the comment section below. Till next time.